Hi everyone, and welcome back to my review this time of the TRN X7. I've had this IM for a while, and it's just one of those IMs that just passed, and I ended up not reviewing it. But anyway, just a quick unboxing here. The packaging of the X7 is actually quite nice. It brings a nice, the experience is nice. I'm not one to enjoy the unboxing that much, but it's nice. Over here it brings one of these cases, so okay. Over there the IEMs themselves, and then inside the cable, which is I mean it's okay, it's nothing special. Okay, and some literature and stuff over here, and the tips as well over there. Oh, sorry, tips actually come inside of the tips. Some adapters, loads of tips, 6.3mm adapter, so that's well taken care of in terms of accessories. No skimping on that side from TRN. Okay, that's it. Close this off here, and there we go. Anyway, on to the earphones themselves. It's these beauties, and I have to, and I want to, actually not have to, I want to congratulate TRN in that they've done a true job in terms of wanting to engineer something properly. It's going to be hard because this shell is not very transparent, but it's a all BA IM. X7 detects the number, 7 of them, and they all are using the usual channels that you see when IMs are more properly designed. It's got that little normal vent filter there, but underneath there's the 3 channels for each of the 3 sections of, let's say, the sound spectrum, handled by each of the individual groups of BAs. There you can see some of them there, and on this side, no, difficult. But anyway, the BAs used all the standard ones. Nothing. They haven't departed from the usual types of BAs used. 22.955, 29.689, 395, the usual stuff. So nothing new in that department. But the quality of the construction is really nice. I mean, they, like I said, my congratulations to TRN. You can definitely see it's even got like a slight air of C Audio bravery when you look at it. Well, this black version at least. The cable I'm using is actually the KB Air Aurora cable, and I'm using that cable because I just liked it better than the standard one, and I thought it would go nicely on here, and that's why I'm using it. Anyway, a quick run through the sound. The sound signature, well, it's slightly above neutral, definitely. It's got elevated bass, elevated lower mid-range, and then the treble is rolled off early at around 7k. It starts rolling off, which basically translates to a darkish sounding IEM. So the focus is on the lower mids and the mids, which means, and it does have very good male vocals. Having the rolled off treble and the tamed down upper mids means there's no real sibilance, thus no real fatigue from that. But the lows are there in ample quantity, especially when you consider it's a BA set. But the quantity is the one thing, quality is the other. There is some lack of resolution, there is some lack of texture. Again, and we must keep in mind we're talking about we're talking about an IM which costs around $150. So when we talk about something which is that expensive, you expect a certain level. So yes, it does have texture, it does have resolution, but not at the level of the price that we are looking at. In terms of mids and treble, the resolution is pretty good actually, and the clarity. And it's actually quite pleasant. I mean, it's treble usually when it's boosted, and a lot of tri-fi companies have a tendency of doing that. When they boost the treble, it's to give this this false perception of airiness, of detailed retrieval capability, of ultimately of soundstage and imaging and so on and so forth. And in this case, one of the things that actually surprised me was that it's actually got a pretty decent soundstage. And it's not because of the treble, because there isn't much of treble there anyway. So the soundstage that exists is all being done by really good imaging and really good mids and lower mids, and the bass, which is not perfect, which all marries up nicely, and that is actually contributing to a very nice ability to image and do a good soundstage, and not down to this false perception of having a soundstage through the treble. But anyway, that's basically what it's about. It's a nice IEM if you like a darker sounding IEM. I didn't really honestly think that there was any genre of music that it couldn't play. It played basically everything, and this is one of the very few IEMs that I've actually ended up EQing slightly, just to give that little bit extra that it requires, and it is missing in the treble. Those of you that know me know that I like tinkering with an IEM in a different manner. EQ is the, let's say, last resort, and it must be just to correct something which is already pretty good and is just flawed by a minor detail, which is the case of the X7. I've actually got here its brother, the TRN VX Pro, and this is to do the following. The reason I have a chance to do the following comparison. Those of you that saw my review of the VX Pro, you will have heard me say that I like the IEM. I like it. It was a good attempt at improving already on the V90S and on the original VX. I mean, this compared to the original VX is miles ahead of it. But as compared to the V90S, it just slightly lacks, because that excessive, although graphically you don't see it, but it's just excessively bright sometimes. And it has taken me, quite a bit of playing around with cables and tips, especially cables are always a very dodgy subject. But anyway, and in this current configuration that I have it here now, I was using a foam tip for quite some while, but now I'm using these KB ears, silicone KB ears, and with these tips and with this copper wire, and the fact that they've been burnt in quite a bit, so I'm guessing that whatever needed to be settled in terms of the BAs has probably settled in by now. I've actually started to enjoy them much more, much more. And although in my review I said I would probably opt for the V90S over this one, right now it would be a difficult one. Honestly, it would be a difficult one, because the VX Pro is really improved quite a bit as it's playing along. Fair enough, there could be a certain amount of brain burn there, but I honestly and truly believe that it has improved. And the reason why, finally going to the reason why I brought it here, the reason why I'm putting here this is these two IEMs are very much similar in the way they present their bass and the mids and everything. The only difference is here excessive in standard form, excessive upper mid-range and treble, deficient in the treble. So, what could have, the lesson that TRN could have taken away from this is just tame this slightly down a little bit and improve the tuning on the treble on this one slightly, and you will have two winners. I have no doubt about it. The quality of construction is a huge leap forward in terms of what TRN has done over the years. It's really big. I mean, you look at a V80 and you look at the VX Pro, and it's seriously, it's a beautiful shell, very well executed. The design, the interior design is well thought. You can see that thought was put into the IM. It just needs a little bit of fine tuning in terms of the upper mids and high frequency. And the same thing applies for the X7. It's a fantastically designed IEM. You can definitely see that they are taking steps in the right direction. I mean, same thing like KBF, by the way. And the only thing is they tried to pull back that aggressiveness that usually TRN is known for in their all BA sets. And I mean, BA5, well, let's not talk about that. BA15, again, another disappointment and crazy money. And over here, they've got the formula right. They've actually got the number of BAs right. Everything is right. It just needs a little bit of fine tuning. Where do I think its biggest Achilles heel is the price? And I mean, for $150, you have a vast amount of other IEMs that you could choose. You know that I usually don't like comparing hybrids with BAs and single DDs and so on and so forth, but just for the sake of comparison and for people to have an idea of what you can actually get. For the same money as a VX, you can get the KBA Aurora. I mean, I reviewed it recently and it's a nice IEM. It is a nice IEM, irrespective of the fact that I actually prefer the HANA 2021, but this is a nice IEM. Another option, the HANA 2021. Fantastic IEM as well. I mean, nothing that can really be flawed at the same price. Another one, a fellow brother actually, not brother, but also from the same company as the KBA Aurora, the Tri i3 Pro. Fantastic IEM, fantastic. I mean, really, really nice. One of the better surprises I've had in this fourth quarter of 2021. And an oldie but goldie, the BQ EYZ, the summer. Again, fantastic IEM. All of these IEMs all centered around the $120, $150, $160 mark, which is right on X7 territory. So unless you tell me that you really favor a dark sounding IEM and you want a full BA set, then fine, go for the X7. If not that, there's, if you're counting your pennies, there's other options which I think will be more satisfying. I would even go as far as saying that even its younger brother, well, it's not younger brother, but even its brother, the VX Pro, which costs about $95, even this would make more sense, to be honest with you. And simply because that excessive treble that is here, the same way as you can EQ this to give it a little bit more, you can also EQ this to bring it down. And this is more fun at the end of the day to listen to than that. But above all, there's a difference here of $60. So that's plenty money. And I think that it's enough to justify that even the VX Pro is probably a better option than the X7. Anyway, that's my little review here on the X7. I know it's nice and short because there just isn't much to say about it. It's a pleasant IEM, let's put it that way. All right, thank you, take care, bye bye.